Recording.
Tell your friends you're listening to the Verhoeven Effect podcast. I'm Conlon.
And I'm Nathan.
We have another very special episode. We have the 1986 movie The Name of the Rose. Nathan, do you have a history of The Name of the Rose?
Yeah, I remember watching this. I think I watched part of this on cable, like in, let's say, 1990. And that was kind of when I was getting out of my Lord of the Rings, reading all the fantasy novel stuff. I was sort of like looking for something else. And I remember I watched this movie. I watched part of it, and then I caught the whole thing later. And it was like, oh, I think I recorded it on like a VCR tape or something. It's like, oh, this is fascinating. And then it's like, oh, there's a book, and the book was even better. It's like, oh, there's
Okay.
even more detail, and because I was looking for that like dense, complex world that I like,
Yeah.
and like like Lord of the Rings, Dune, stuff like that. It's things with a dense lore, and it's almost like you can go in any direction reading it, and it's like this was like the movie was cool, but the book like filled in a bunch of details that made the movie even cooler, if you know what I mean. It's like
Okay. No,
sometimes
I didn't get around to reading the book, so I'm not. But
oh,
sorry.
well, I'm not going to go into the book in
Okay.
huge detail because half of it's in Spanish,
Okay.
Italian, and Latin.
All right, makes
But
sense.
it does make it actually the story is like cool because of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's worth a read. If you like the movie, it's worth a read. And I guess there was a mini series, but it's one of those ones. It's like Pillars of the Earth. It only happens in Europe, and you can never see it here.
Oh,
So,
okay.
because I think who was in the mini series? There's a couple of American actors, like John Turturro,
Oh, okay.
Rupert Everett. He's not American, I don't think. But yeah, there was some. I've never seen it though. It's like a mini series, which would actually make more sense for a book that dense. But yeah. But I remember watching this movie, and of course, I was a big fan of Sean Connery, and I always liked his movies. But I almost forgot Sean Connery was in this. There were so many cool things going on. So
Yeah, this is
yeah,
like
that's
his low
just,
days, right?
huh?
This is like Connery's low days. This is like Outland era, like Sean
This is
Connery.
86, so yeah, it'd be around then. This is one of those weird movies that it was like, who's funding it? Like, is it Italy, West Germany, and France?
Yeah.
But it also has like different like production money from different people in it, and it's a very
Yeah, because it's
interesting.
like it's like a French director, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it had some so interesting. How would you say? I don't know. It just had some interesting uh, kind of backstory to how it was made, why they made it the way they did, why they did it in English, and the two
To
big
make
fun.
money.
The
I guess
two big
ironically, like the trivia I read is that it didn't really make money here in America, but it did well off abroad. So
Oh yeah, and it made people buy that book again because the book was written in like 1980
okay.
by a guy who is a professor of semiotics, which is Umberto Eco, who is and that is like basically a guy who incorporates symbolism into language.
Huh.
So that which sounds dense and esoteric, but and it is because I tried to read about what does that mean exactly. But yeah, this was like his most famous book, and it's his emotional it's his most approachable book too.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Because like Foucault's pendulum and stuff, it's like that's kind of cool, but that like blends a bunch of like conspiracy theories and history of France and the Eiffel Tower, and it kind of jumps around a lot. That was the only other book of his I tried to read. And then he's more famous recently for an essay he wrote about fascism, because he
Huh.
died in 2016. And he grew up. He was a real young kid when in the fascist era of Italy, because he's an Italian.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's like a lot of younger people might know him for that essay he wrote about these are the signs of fascism. Like I forget, it's like 15 points, then you're in a
Yeah.
fascist state. And of course, everyone's like immediately just lays that over whatever country they're in and don't like, and it's like, he was a prophet, and it's like, okay, because that's a term that's thrown around very loosely now. It's like everyone I don't agree with is a fascist or a communist. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's probably more known for that nowadays than this book. Because I think what was that essay called? Fascism, which is like when you put "UR" in front of something, that means like prototype
Okay.
pre-fascism.
Huh. The director is, or I guess it came out September 24th, 1986. Which when did you see it?
The 90s, like
Okay.
late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
I saw it on TV.
Okay.
A little more mild version than what I watched. I don't remember a lot of the stuff I saw recently. And it's like, is this that dark? But I think I exclusively watched this on TV.
Okay.
And just read the book. Which the book has... It has it has some descriptions of violence, but it didn't seem as gruesome as it did in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, especially all the slaughtering and stuff. It's like...
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's right up front. Just going to have cattle hearts all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Director is Jean-Jacques Annaud.
Yeah.
Annaud? I'm not sure how you'd say that. He did, like, Enemy of the Gates. That's the other thing I know him for. 7 Years in Tibet. I know of it. I've never, like, actually read, or never actually seen it. And, yeah. Yeah, he's a French director.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes with those French names, it's like you say the first part and moan the last.
Yeah.
Jean-Jacques Annaud.
Yeah, you just get tired of saying the word at the end
Yeah.
of it. It's like, yeah. Quest for Fire, which I think that had... Yeah, I think that had... Yeah, it had Ron Perlman's in it. Okay, so
yeah. He was one of the cavemen, yeah.
Built for him. It's like all his roles are built for him. You're gonna be you're gonna be Beast, the Beauty and the Beast, and a caveman. And a hunchback.
Hellboy.
Yeah.
And then like a Jewish mobster in one of the best like TV roles ever that he did. It's like, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and the director is Tonio Deli Cali. I'm not sure if that's how you spell it, but he's an Italian cinematographer. He did this and like Once Upon a Time in America. Like those are the ones I can recognize. Oh, he did Life is Beautiful. Right. Okay.
Okay.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm not going to BS you and say, yeah, I know this guy's work. I had no idea this guy. I mean, this is a cool looking movie, so yeah, it's good.
I was like, what's Bitter Moon? It's like, oh, it's a Roman Polanski movie. It's like, oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just like we've seen before, like the Italians do really good art. Like, you know.
Oh yeah. Good art, good food, good clothing, amazing looking cars that inspire you until you have to pay to have them maintained. Not so much.
They can even function if you just like look away for,
yeah.
Or if you just, have them all done up just right for a brief moment. They're amazing vehicles of engineering and art.
Yeah.
And then they break down. So.
Yeah. Spectacularly break down. They don't break down with just a whimper. They break down with a bang.
Written by, this is like maybe the strangest one we've had so far. It's got 3 ampersands. It's got 4 writers and 3 ampersands, saying they all equally wrote this together. So, and I don't know. There's Andrew Birkin, Gerard Brock, Howard Franklin, and Alan Goddard. Or maybe it's Alain Goddard. I'm not sure. And like, let's see here. There's Andrew Birkin. He wrote this, and he wrote like Perfume: The Story of a Murderer. Which I remember that. It's like, okay, that seems in line here.
Yeah.
And that's a more recent movie. A couple of these guys worked on Quest for Fire. Yeah, so Gerard Brock here worked on Quest for Fire. Howard Franklin, Antitrust. Can't remember. Oh, wait, is that? What is Antitrust? Oh, right. That Ryan Phillippe, Tim Robbins, like, yeah, some sort of like business, like, thriller or something like that. And
Yeah.
he wrote The Man Who Knew Too Little, which is that a comedy? Yeah, it's a
Yes.
comedy. Yes. Okay.
That's a Bill Murray, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
Basically, also did a script treatment on "Romancing the Stone,"
Okay.
but it says he was uncredited for that one.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah, which I never exactly know how to take those.
yeah, it's he basically got paid to do something.
And then yeah, and Alan Goddard worked on Enemy of the Gates. That was the other movie he did. Day of the Falcon. Not sure what that is. Oh, it's also called Black Gold. So it's that's probably so. It's probably just some
that's
weird.
probably some deep European cut that we're never gonna see.
Yeah, or some Eastern European money made a movie and they like sell it around the world and like nobody knows what it is, but somehow it's profitable.
Yeah. Yeah, some it's laundering other money. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like it's secretly like a red box like hit or something like that. I'm not sure if they have red boxes anymore.
I haven't seen one in a couple years, but you have them, I'm sure. Yeah, it's interesting script development on this because no one knew how to make this into a movie. You just had guys go over and over and over and over it.
Yeah, it could be what's going on.
Because in the book, all they do is talk about the symbolism and the history of the orders, and the history of the Catholic Church and where it was. Like the book is a wonderful history lesson of very. I don't know where Ken Follett got his ideas for Pillars of the Earth, but I think this book might be part of that, where it's like we're going to take fictional characters but set them in a real world where big things are going on. And we're going to give a complete detailed backdrop of said history. None of the things that are talked about here actually happened, but these were people that lived in that world at that time, and this was their story, and it very much the Pillars of the Earth, and because that was the next book like this I liked was that one, and then World Without End was pretty cool too. Those are like 900-page books that probably rival Game of Thrones for and how many characters are doing what. But yeah, but this book, a lot of the book is about like the arguments in the Catholic Church at that time.
Okay,
this is like in the 14th century, so we're right past some of the worst stuff, and we're kind of getting into an age where knowledge is starting to supersede heresy and belief, like the people that are that's part of the old guard that's preaching that. And the movie shows that too, but it's like really this is one of those things again where it's like watch the movie, and if you liked it, read the book. The book is going to seem inconceivably dense and boring for a little bit, and then it's going to become really cool because they just have to set all the stage.
I mean, that's like kind of like Devil in the White City sets it up as like this amazing thriller, but like a lot of the cool stuff is like all the manufacturing and like techniques that have to be done to put a World's Fair together, and there just happens to be a serial killer nearby too. Like, I didn't really care much about the serial killer stuff. I was like, oh man, like you gotta like how are you gonna put these pillars in a river without killing all these guys from decompression sickness and stuff like that?
Yeah. How do we expand the sewage system of a city for a one-time visit, and how do we get power out there without killing people? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, by the time you get to the serial killer, it's like I want to know more about the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Why can't we do this now? It seems like we're the peasants outside of Rome. Like, what gods built the aqueducts? We can't understand how this works anymore.
The cast is Sean Connery, Christian Slater, and Helmut Qualtringer, which I think this is just probably an order of appearance because there's more famous people that we'll meet. Yeah. So,
yeah, it's billed as like Sean Connery, F. Murray Abraham, Michael Lonsdale, Ron Perlman,
and
then Christian Slater. That's how it's like billed. Well, F. Murray Abraham's maybe got 15 minutes of screen time. It's real powerful when he's there.
Yeah.
That's the guy who's the head of the Inquisition. But yeah, there's a full cast of people here. But yeah, that's a weird billing for that.
Again, this is Internet Movie Database. Like you might be looking elsewhere that gives a more like correct billing or whatever. But so, there's only 3 names there. I'm not gonna call it everybody. You know, we'll get through the movie. We'll call them out if they're there. So, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, what's it called? It's not a book by. Or it's not a novel by Umberto Eco. It has like some weird name that I never heard before. A palimpsest of his novel.
Okay, yeah,
that's how it's listed, which I don't know what a palimpsest is. So we'll just do a live Google here. Avoid the AI. Go right to the definition. A manuscript or a piece of writing material on which the original writing has been affected to make room for later writing, but of which traces remain. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. It sounds like every adaptation of a novel into a movie. Okay.
All right.
Again, we're going deep European cuts here.
I mean, yeah, it's probably like, yeah, this is Europe. That must be why there's all these ampersands here, because it was probably outside of Hollywood and they just probably had no standard on how to credit people for the work. So it just had weird creditations or something like that. So.
Yeah, it's not quite the Hollywood system where everyone gets their beak wet. It's more like, we appreciate your contribution to art. Oh, is there any money attached to that appreciation? No. Oh, no.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's like there's weird stuff in Hollywood too where it's like political maneuvering about who gets their name on what. It's like you'll still get paid, but like ultimately for your career, if your name is on something, then you're going to get fucked in the long run.
Yeah.
But you'll still get paid. See, I guess we'll get into it. We have Act 1. We get a voiceover of a man about to recount the events he witnessed, which will just be Christian Slater's character of Adso of Melk.
Yep. He's an Austrian. He's the second son of an Austrian lord.
Okay.
Who's become that's in the book. Yeah. Yeah, Melk is a district of Austria. And
well, yeah, I mean, William always like kind of like introduces I think he introduces him, says like something like that, and he's like, he's my novice, which I thought meant like, you know, he's just hanging around this guy and learning stuff from him, but like he just was a monk. Like,
yeah.
And like, yeah, well, this is the rest of your life then. But it seemed like if he was like the son of a lord, he'd be doing more than being a monk. But maybe that's just
I think he was the second son.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, in that system, it's only the eldest one that inherits.
Right. Okay.
That or he just wasn't, fit for. Some people weren't fit for that life.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of weird political alignments that go along with that. And
okay.
Maybe some people don't want to be a lord. I mean, back at that time, it's like, well, that. If there's two things, I'm going to eat, have a place to sleep, and may or may not be killed in political maneuvering. But, the eat and sleep thing, that's covered, which that's big deal back then. It's not always guaranteed.
We open on a valley with goats and people riding donkeys on a trail. At least I think these are donkeys.
Something like that, yeah.
We got William of Baskerville, played by Sean Connery, which I'm guessing that's just a direct reference to... Or is that a real place? But I'm assuming this, like, because you prepped me with this being kind of crap.
Yeah, it's an homage to Sherlock Holmes,
yes,
Hound of the Baskervilles.
Okay.
Yeah, William of Baskervilles is a medieval Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Because he thinks in that he has that analytical process.
Which is like kind of the brilliant setup of this whole movie is like, oh, what if you have somebody who's smart and analytical and scientific in an era where that can get you murdered?
Yeah, he's going to be a monk, of course, because it's like, well, I deal in logic.
Yeah.
That's why I'm allowed to have these thoughts. Kind of.
And then Adso of Milk, played by Christian Slater. Which, like, I always felt like Christian Slater was like, yeah, he did movies in the 90s, but he kind of only did like 3 movies. I was like, so it's kind of weird. Because, like, I think There's Gleaming the Cube, which I think came out like a couple years later, and then like Heathers, which he seems like way older in both those movies than he does here. But I'm
Yeah.
not sure if this was his first movie or if he was doing other stuff.
Let's see. He's a couple years. No, he's 5 years older than me, as of right now. And let's see. What did he? This is his third movie.
Okay.
He was in The Legend of Billie Jean. That was his first one, and then Twisted, which I've never seen. And then he was a support guy because he was in Tucker about the guy who built the cars. He played his son.
Oh, okay.
And then Heathers, he was a main character.
Yeah.
And then Desperate for Love, Beyond the Stars, I don't know, The Wizard, and then Gleaming the Cube.
Yeah.
And then Pump Up the Volume in 1990.
Which I haven't seen, but I saw a trailer for it a while ago, and I was like, maybe we should watch this movie. This is weird. Because he's like doing like what, pirate radio or something like that, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know, but
yeah.
Gleaming the Cube's interesting because he's like adopted by an Asian family, and like his Asian brother gets killed, and he's got to solve a mystery. It's like and it's skateboarding's involved because that's like, I think that's where Gleaming the Cube comes from. It's like a skateboarding term or something like that.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I think when you just like grind a rail, it's or a like a brick or something, that's Gleaming the Cube or something like that. So,
Yep. Most recently is probably he's most famous for being the one guy's one of the characters in Mr. Robot.
Yeah, he's his dad.
Yeah, he's his dad.
I think so. It's
well,
his character's weird.
The whole thing was hallucinated. Yeah, we're not.
Well, that's at least in the first season. That's what's going on. Who knows what happens? So it's the first season. I never watched the end of that, but like that was an exceptionally good show. That was like, it got too good that I just stopped watching it because I was like just like out of sync.
Bound to disappoint.
Yeah. Well, no, I just got like out of sync with it, and then I was just like so far behind. And it's like, well, I don't think there's a point anymore catching up. It's like it's missed its moment or something like that. But yeah, as far as I know, they completed it or whatever. I think I only did like 4 seasons or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, like crazy for a network like USA to like put that together.
Yeah, with all like the counterculture stuff in it and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, USA Network, you're home of the billion. It's like, oh, okay.
Come here for Suits.
Yeah.
That's like it. Yeah, because if you did you ever watch Suits? Do you even know what Suits is?
No, not really.
But it has this like, I know like, what's her name? Meghan Markle or whatever, the lady who married one of the princes.
The Duchess of Sussex now.
Yeah. Like she acted in that show, but like the show had been basically off the air for like 6 years or whatever, and I think maybe it was like the pandemic, and it like blew up on streaming services and like became the #1 show.
Okay.
Like in the world. And now they have like a new Suits show because of that.
It's strange the life that some things will get. Just it's like, hey, forced confinement makes things popular.
Let's see here. Yeah, they arrive at a snowy castle. This castle looks great. Like, I don't know if this is a real castle or just some like good set work or whatever, but
I believe this was actually shot in places that like stuff like that existed.
Okay. Yeah, I remember there was an interesting thing talking about like, you know, castles or whatever, and look at all these castles that survived, and look at our modern architecture and how easily it breaks apart. And then somebody points out, it's like, oh, there's way more wooden castles than there were stone castles. The stone castles were just the ones that survived. So.
Yeah. And also they burnt the nice thing about stone structures is when they burn down inside, which they did all the time, it's pretty easy to rebuild them.
Yeah.
Because you just have the giant beams that go through. Like you can see them on the outside, but you can tell where the floors are.
Yeah.
And because everyone used fire back then for everything, including a light source, yeah, they burned down all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always the crazy thing. It's like, well, you need fire to light this place, and also if anything catches fire, you better hurry up and put it out because it's gonna set everything else on fire. So
yeah, you're living in a candle. Essentially.
So yeah, the voiceovers from an older Milk. We've got the Abbot played by Michael Lonsdale. Oh yeah, we last saw Christian Slater in probably Broken Arrow. I can't remember if we'd done anything. Oh no, no, we did Sean Connery. We did Zardoz.
Yes.
So that might be the last thing we saw him in. So,
It's been a while.
And then we get the Abbot here, played by Michael Lonsdale, who I think we last saw in Moonraker. So.
Yeah, this he is a English and French actor.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I guess he's like acts both in English and French. Well, he did. He died in 2020 at age 89.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's most famously known probably in American cinema as Hugo Drax. But yeah, he's the Abbot here.
And we see him we see the Abbot kind of looking at some other monks, and they're going like, should we tell him? And she don't know what it's about. And then William sends Adso on a task because he noticed a monk hurrying about somewhere to conceal something. It's like, go check on that. And then Adso's like, sir, you've never been here. I thought you said you've never been here before. So we just kind of just sets up as William as being kind of an maybe he has a photographic memory or something like that, but he's always taking almost, because he's never writing anything down, so he has an almost an impossible memory to deal with. So
yeah,
so that one big they're looking at the footprints, and they're not they're not making a plaster cast or anything of the stuff like this. He's just commit this to memory, because the snow's going to melt eventually, so the evidence will go away, and they don't have any way to trace it, and they didn't write anything down. Presumably they know how to read and write, so at least we know William does. So.
Oh, most of them do.
Oh, okay. William, he gets to his room. He gets out some scientific tools, and then he hides them when the Abbot shows up at the door. There's mention of the passing of a young monk who made comical images.
Yeah,
I forget what they call him. The Unilluminator.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yes. He basically writes the stuff in the margins, like the characters and all the weird symbolism of medieval art.
Yeah,
he was one of those guys that could really.
Well, was he an artist as well? Because don't they look at that photo and it's oh look, a badger's the Pope, and that's funny, and then other people are that's heresy. It's it's some weird stuff like that going on.
Yeah, in the book they go into great detail about what the because it's when the Pope is an animal and he's addressing animals, that means the Pope is preaching heresy.
Okay.
But it has to be in a historical context. You can't say the current Pope is preaching heresy.
Okay.
But yeah, there's all kinds of weird because what if you have a picture of squid, or a woman talking to a dog, it means there's lust, or there was all kinds of in the book it talks about this is the margin art in these handwritten books is as important as what's written in them, because it gives an idea of what was going on in the world at that time.
Okay. And what is an abbey exactly? Do you know? Is it just a castle for monks, and there's not really battlements or anything like that? But
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It's kind of because an abbey is not a church, because monks aren't they don't preach to the people. They're kind of like craftsmen, artisans. They're basically the people that preserve reading and writing. And
it says here, the dictionary says the building or buildings occupied by a community of monks or nuns. So
yeah,
because
they basically were built as castles for books and religious writing.
Okay.
And they don't. Yeah, they're meant to not be. I don't know. There's a weird thing about knowledge at that time. It's you don't let the peasants know too much. Because one of the central themes in the book and even the movie, it doesn't come up quite as much, is Sean Connery and his order, and I forget what all the monks are, because there's different ones. There's Benedictine monks. There's
These are the
different ones.
Well, he's the Franciscan monk, right? Isn't that this
Yeah,
particular
I
segment?
think so.
Because
I
like,
believe so. They changed it in the book and the movie.
okay,
In the book, he was some. It was a different one, but this was a time when the vow of poverty was being debated vigorously in the church,
yeah,
because like a lot of priests and even monks, like, oh, they were well clothed, well fed, they had, their churches were just gilded in gold, and some other guys were making the argument of like, yeah, Jesus was poor and his disciples were poor and they preached to the poor, and we shouldn't be, you wearing vestments of wealth and
yeah,
royalty. And
yeah. There's yeah, like in the third act, they have like a papal like constituency shows up like to serve it like for to in place of the Pope, and then like they're yelling at people. It's like, yes, Jesus was poor, but that does not mean the church needs to be poor. So,
yeah, this was a serious struggle. In the book, there's a great Baskerville William has a lot of great lines in the book, and one of the things because they're talking about this debate that was supposed to happen at this abbey in the shadow of all these murders and stuff, and he's like, yes, whenever men who have a lot are asked to give some of it up, there must be serious counsels and much discussion, because Jesus, after all, was not a man of poverty. So we have to figure this out. It's great. There's a lot of great sarcasm in the book about this debate they're having with the papal legate about should we be poor or not? Should we avow worldly possessions?
yeah, yeah, and they even have like Adso is like kind of like, he's meant to be like, I guess, I mean, he's meant to be like, serving the church, but he's not necessarily like he has a lot of money or anything like that. But he seems to have a task of like he wants to raise the poor up, and like that's what he's like supposed to be working towards or whatever, or at least that's maybe an excuse he gives in his mind or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's all essentially at this time. These guys were this was the internet of that time, a repository of knowledge. These were some of the few people in this civilization that could read and write not just one language but multiple languages.
Yeah,
Things were written in a very dense, symbolic, hard to understand way, because knowledge was dangerous.
yeah.
And if you let like the lay people and the peasants know what's really going on, they might kill you. And so these guys were sort of like the buffer zone between like the ruling elite and God. And yeah, this is when the church was the Catholic Church was like a big power.
Yeah,
Yeah, a political force in Europe. And so yeah, it's a very strange time to wrap your head around. It's like, what are these guys doing, and why are they acting this way? And where's the cops? Why aren't they investigating the murders? And it's like, oh yeah, they don't have stuff like that back then. They have guys with swords, but they do whatever the rich people tell them to do. So that's.
And what's this take place in like northern Italy or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, northern Italy.
The abbot tells of a murder at the abbey, which I'm guessing that's why he's called the abbot, because it's an abbey. So, so that would be in the end of Act 1, because like, oh, it's a murder investigation. So, of Act 2, we just get to pigs are being slaughtered and their blood is like poured into a cauldron.
Yeah,
which I'm not sure what the purpose of that, or if that's just like
they
a meal.
Used everything in animals back then, things you couldn't imagine. A lot of it worked.
Yeah.
For people that didn't have like germ theory or really understand where sickness came from, some of the stuff they did with offal and animal blood and stuff was actually pretty clever. What they could do with plants to keep wounds from getting infected was amazing.
Yeah.
It's just now we kind of have a one-stop solution for all that. But back then you had to be like, oh, and for this you do that, and for that you do this. And nowadays it's like, well, apply these antibiotics that may or may not work anymore, and good luck. But yeah, they didn't have any. They did all kinds of crazy stuff with animal parts and stuff like that. I mean, some pouches that people carried water in were just like stomachs of animals, or put through a tanning process, but because they held liquid well in the material they were made out of. It's like, yeah, guys just basically carrying around a sheep's stomach full of wine, which sounds disgusting, but well, when you didn't have plastic and stuff like that, that's what you used. So,
or just had a horn carved out.
Yeah, carve out a horn and drink from it.
William and Adso, like, they're like in like the first level of the Abbey is like the church part or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're down there. They observe Ubertino de Cassel or something like that. He's like conducting spiritual investigation. Is this like the old uncle in Christmas Vacation?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. You know, the one that sets the tree on fire with a cigar.
I believe, let me look it up. His name's William. He's an American. I know that. Yeah. It's Christmas Vacation. When was that? 19. Yes, that's the guy.
Okay.
Uncle Lewis. Hey, if you're not doing anything, get my stogie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was like looking at him and it like remind me of like, oh, like crap, who's the guy who plays Gus? Not Gus. Oh crap, you know, the hitman in Breaking Bad. Like he kind of looked like the thinner version of him because he kind of sounded the same.
Oh, the corrupt cop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what was his name? Because he's been in a lot of things too. Yeah. Yeah, he sort of looked like that.
What is it? Oh, Jonathan Banks' character was Mike Ehrmantraut in the Breaking Bad. So, yeah, we get a lot of weird dialogue here. This whole scene's weird. He's like, the devil is hurling beautiful boys out of windows. And then we see like him like weirdly stroking Adso's head. And it's like, well, that's because I had no idea where this was going. It was like, oh wow, are they doing like priest molestation like stuff in the 80s, or was that not even brought up?
I'm not sure. In the book they did kind of talk about, like they said, because this is actually a real guy.
Yeah,
this is a real person. Yeah, what did he do in real life? But yeah, he was a real guy, but he was like what did William say about that? He was like he loved young minds. It wasn't like a lust thing, but it was like, here is a young man. So I could shape him. I could make him into a tool for God. And he just, I love this young man and I want to hold him. But yeah, that's how he explained it. Because yeah, in the book it even came across as weird. But William was like, yeah, Albertino's become strange over the years, but he wants to make men into instruments of God, and he's kind of lost his way because his mind was, a lot of people were like, oh, his mind's starting to go. And that's why he's sort of like, oh, I wish I could be young like this man again and have the tools I have now. And
well, then also later there is just a guy who's just like, he likes young men and like carnally so, and so like that's a different thing going on there. But
yeah, that was he was also an ugly guy. He looked like a character from Dune.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, is this, hey, the Dune guy's here.
Doing here. Is he floating around?
Yep. Well, I guess he drowned, so no. So.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, we get some like this is where William like calls it irrational rumors of the Antichrist, because they're like, basically if somebody's covered something up and everyone, and because it's been covered up, it's now a mystery. It's like, well, the devil is to blame, and then they have, that's why you need William to come in and actually like think his way through what would actually happen, and not just the devil's work going on. So
we'll see in the book you find out William actually worked for the Inquisition.
Yeah,
in England. But he was like the voice of like, look, it can't always be Satan. Men are bad enough on their own. Rational reasons why men do awful things. We can't always invoke the dark one.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's why he was thrown out of the Inquisition, because it's like, you're missing the point here, William. No, the point is we must be rational. Because the only reason he took the job is he's like, because the Inquisition originally was started to root out corruption in the church.
Yeah,
that's what that really started as. Now we know it from like the Monty Python skit. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Our three weapons are fear, and and they always forget the other two or something. But yeah. No, the Inquisition originally, the history of it was to like, oh, the church is becoming crazy corrupt, But then it became a like, let's call everyone a witch and kill them.
Yeah.
And take all their money. Interestingly, it's like, okay, well, we need this for the church to do good, to undo the work they did through Satan. It's like, that's another thing. Williams always really cynical about the money stuff. It's like, oh yes, God needs our money on earth.
Yeah, he also says a rather dark end for such a brilliant illuminator. Which I think I wrote that guy's name down later on, but like they don't mention it for like ever. He's not really a character that exists alive, so he's not like in the credits or whatever.
Yeah.
We see like, I don't know, there's like crop leavings or something like that being dumped through the sluice gate and like the poor fight over it.
Yeah, essentially it's like all the offcuts and things they're not going to use.
Yeah. And so like William sees that and like concludes that like, yeah, because the reason that like, I guess the reason they thought it was heresy is that like the body's like basically like 50 feet from a wall, and it's like, well, there's no way someone could be thrown or jumped that far. And then like he kind of like, well, I'm pretty sure he just rolled down the hill when he hit something, and he goes finds the spot where he hit, and he's like, yeah, I think he just jumped to his death. So there's no devil at work here. And it's like, all right, well, why did he jump his death? And then we see a girl that Adso seems like infatuated or confused by, although like that's most of like Christian Slater's acting through this entire movie is like just like squinting confusion.
Yeah.
So, like he doesn't do a bad job, but he does have every time you see him, he just like has a weird, introspective and confused face on the entire time. So,
well, in the book it adds so because he's the narrative voice.
Yes.
And in the book he is also.
Okay.
And he kind of explains, he's like, I grew up like the son of a lord. I don't know if one of the ranks of lords in Austria, I'm not sure, like an earl or I don't know what they call him there.
Yeah.
But it's like I lived that sheltered environment, and then I went to join a monastery, and I lived in that sheltered environment, and then they're like, oh, travel around the world with William. Yeah, he's like, the world is complex and horrifying and is full of temptations I cannot master. And it's like, oh, okay. So it sort of makes sense the way he was probably, it's like, yo, you're supposed to look like this all the time, said the director. And he's like, what? This is vaguely confused. Like you have poor eyesight or you don't believe what you're seeing.
Yeah, this is where we get almost a direct reference to I keep wanting to say Shakespeare, but Sherlock.
Yeah.
He says like it's rather elementary.
Oh yeah.
I'd so or whatever. Oh yeah, it was got a good line here because he's like, yeah, because everything here seems awful. Like,
yeah.
He says, and then and like so Adso's like talking about like his place being like, I don't know, I guess extra awful, and then he's like, have you ever known a place where where God would have felt at home? It's like, oh yeah, I guess everything's awful. So yeah, it doesn't seem like God's here if he's supposed to be so great. So, there's a hearing to like determine what happened with the Illuminator, and they have dinner. We get a bunch of things going on here. There's a lot of different characters, and it's night. William's using some tool while looking at the moon. I'm not sure what this is. It looks almost like a sextant, but it's not that. I have no idea what this is. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's Williams doing science. Doing that era's version of science.
Yeah. But it's presumably this is also heresy or in some way to use scientific tools when God should just talk to you, Adso questions William on his past. William just tells him not to think about it, so we'll get that later on. We see some monk we see some monk stuff going on, and we get like one guy who's like self-flatulating himself, which is whipping his back. I forget what else we get. We just get some monk stuff. We cut to morning. There's singing at mass. Some people come in screaming, and then they run outside and they see a body drowned in a blood cauldron.
Yeah, feet sticking out of it.
Yeah, it's very weird looking.
Yeah, it's also on the poster.
Yeah, because this cauldron's very tall too. So, and we did see. This is the other thing that was going on. We see this. There's a young black monk there we see him like reading a book and laughing, and then he hears a mouse and like it gets kind of scared, and that's all we see of him. So this is that monk, and Ubertino starts talking to the apocalypse and like starts freaking out all the other monks because it's like some things align as interpretation to the apocalypse in the Bible. So
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of talk of that in the book. That's a running theme.
Yeah.
In the book, it's because him and William will be arguing. It's like, no, this is one of the signs of the apocalypse. It's like, well, where do you get this, Ubertino? It's like it was supposed to come 1,000 years after our Lord's death, and it's like, no, it was supposed to come 1,000 years after the founding of the church, or there was always an argument back and forth, and there's lots of different like things discussed about what could this mean. This is one of the signs. In the movie, it seems like they just quickly jump to it's like, oh, it's one of the signs of Armageddon.
Yeah,
it's not really elaborated on. But yeah, that's the thing with like Ubertino. He's coming to the end of his real life, so of course he's evoking the apocalypse because it's like, well, I've lived my life, so now everyone must die with me. Thinking.
William and another monk are examining the body. He's like the herbalist, I think. I never got his name. They're not necessarily doing an autopsy, but they do have him like naked on a table, and there's like blood and stuff around. So, or they're taking stuff like out of their mouths and stuff.
Yeah,
but they don't like cut them up, do they? I can't remember.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Adso gets freaked out by this and leaves the room, and William wonders of the relationship between this monk and the Illuminator. Adso is wandering around the abbey. He's looking at like these like weird grotesque carving. Oh, he's in like the crypt or whatever. They're seen like I think they're made of clay in the scene because like they're seemingly coming to life, and then you just have like a weird like head and shadows like making mouth movements and stuff. Is like, oh, is this like, are we going full like horror movie here? Is this like a head come to life? It's like, no, it's Salvatore the Hunchback played by Ron Perlman. He shows up and starts spouting gibberish, or I guess he's like constantly switching between like Spanish, Italian, and like English or whatever. So he's like, it's hard to understand. He's also got like a pig nose and like one tooth, so he's and a hunchback, so he's very disfigured.
Yes, he has a really grotesque dental appliance in this movie.
William comes in and confronts him, and Salvatore like bows to him, and then we learn that the Hunchback was a heretic, or at least described as a heretic. He's a part of a group of monks who like believe everyone should be poor and that they should kill the rich to make that happen. So
yes, medieval communists. Of course, they were ruled a heretical sect and had to be broken.
Yeah,
again by these men that William was talking about. It's like, oh, whenever they have to give up a coin, we must have a council. Talk long into the night about important matters. Yeah.
Then William and Adso trace footprints.
And that's a real group of people, by the way.
Yeah, I couldn't remember their names. I didn't write it down. So I don't know.
The Dulcinians, essentially.
Okay.
They've had different names and they've been reinterpreted over time. But yeah, they were the absolute believers of, we're the poor and everyone, the poor are our charge on this earth, and you must give everything to them.
Okay, so they don't care if normal people are rich. They just don't want the people in the church to be rich.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like the rule should be there should be as little human suffering as possible.
Yeah.
And in that time, the biggest cause of human suffering was just abject, I'm going to starve to death poverty.
Yeah.
So we're taking aim at that. I don't think they were trying to like tear down the merchant class and seize the means of production. No, we can't have a king and an emperor and people that build gold statues to themselves. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I think the Templar Knights like adopted a version of this. It's like we're going to build huge palaces to God, but we're going to live ourselves as poor. You're just poor knights, just poor fighters. And of course, they got annihilated by a combination of the church and I think the King of France. It's like, we got to get rid of these guys. We don't like these ideas.
William and Adso trace footprints and like kind of deduce things from it, but like him's like, oh, like the footprints are deep. What does that mean? He's like, oh, the guy must be heavy, or he was dragging somebody. Um, which I don't know. There didn't seem to be drag marks if that was the case, because he's like,
Yeah, it's like
but
he's carrying them.
um, but then like he said like the footprints are going the wrong way. It's like, but if he was dragging somebody, he would be facing backwards to drag them or whatever. So. But yeah, that's where we look at like it has a specific like print from the shoe, and he's like, commit that to memory, so we need to know this later on. So,
He's wearing Adidas.
They go to the library to investigate the Illuminaries like workstation, and that's where we learn like how was it, Yorgi? It looks like Jorge, I guess, but it's like Yorgi or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's Jorge. That's his name.
But he says but the way William says it is Yorgi.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Because I thought he was saying like almost like yoga, but like Yorgi or whatever. But like, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter.
Jorge de Burgos, the blind. What was he? The blind. Was he the head librarian?
Yeah. He's like, yeah. So he's like, so yeah, this librarian monk hates laughter.
Yeah.
So yeah, William debates with the monk. This is where we kind of get like some of the tenets of like the Franciscan monks and like how like humor can bring us closer to God, and that's absolutely like against all of Jorge's ideas or whatever. And then they go to the Greek translator's desk, which that's the guy got thrown in the blood vat, and then like the fat monk, or this was was it like someone with a B? I got his name later on. This is the guy that looks like he's like straight out of Dune, because he's like,
yeah, what's Berenger?
Yeah, Berenger. He just like runs up and throws some books on the guy's desk and like blocks it off, and then William Adso walk away. It's like, I guess we'll just come back or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Berenger is not good at like subtlety whatsoever.
No.
it's like, oh, there's been a murder. Like, you want us to investigate? It's like, no. It's like, okay, did you murder them? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, the guy looks like a Harkonnen. Let's not look at him. It's just a weirdo.
William is, they leave the library, and William is curious by the lack of books, because if it's a library, it should have a lot of books, but there's not really a whole lot in there. Someone tries to toss a brick at their heads, and then Adso chases them down, and it's just Salvatore. Then another mech comes in and like begs for forgiveness for Salvatore, because this is like another guy who was in that order.
Yeah.
And William uses this
Igio.
Yeah.
What's he called? The cellarer or something?
Yeah, is he like a butcher, or what's his job?
He's basically in charge of the food.
Oh yeah, because he's the guy that opens up the sleuth gate and stuff like that. So
yeah,
or I guess a lot of people open up the sleuth gates.
Oh yeah, the sleuth gate is a vector of sin. In this
Adso suspects Salvatore as the murderer, but William thinks different, and because he's William, he's usually right because he's the smart guy. So,
well, Salvatore is the obvious. Like, oh, of course, this guy's nuts.
Salvatore opens the sleuth. It's like night. He opens the sleuth gate, and a woman calls through. William Adso investigate the library at night, and then I forget. Berenger is like skulking around in here, which I think he's also like reading the books and kind of like chuckling at it, and then like he hears sounds like, oh. It's a very weird character. So.
Yeah, he's very strange.
William and Adso find that there's a door that can't be opened from inside the library, so it's like, well, that's weird, so there's got to be another way in here. William reads a letter, and then he smells lemon juice on it, then he heats it up on a candle, and then finds hidden writing, which that's just a little fun thing. So
yeah, that's a trick we all learn when we're kids.
Then Berenger like causes a distraction. He's like reaching for a hammer. Is like, is he gonna kill somebody? But then he just tosses it. And then like they go running for the hammer, and then he grabs the book in the meantime. But William accidentally left his glasses in there, which is just like, it's almost just like a couple of pair of lenses that like can fold like together into one. And it's
Yeah,
this
it's
little
like two
magnifying
lenses
glass.
that are suspended like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's because in the book he talks about, oh, these were very expensive. They were a gift from somebody because, once a man turns 50, he often loses his ability to read, but this gives him more time. They just had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden I can't see anything. But they invented lenses that he could see with.
So yeah, Beringer runs off with a book and the magnifying glass inside of it. Then we cut to a monk is walking around looking for the woman, I guess.
Yeah.
The other guy is part of that order. Adso hides from this guy, and then there's like the girl is like there like in the same hiding spot. She like pops up behind him. Almost looks like a Japanese horror movie or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Then the girl just like weirdly touches Adso and like makes him feel her breasts, and like she never says anything. So I thought she was just like mute for like the movie, but then she like, I guess she's just Italian, so it, like or at least that's what they say she is in the movie. I think she's actually French in reality, but they don't know the same stuff there. But
see, what is she in reality? Oh, she's Chilean in reality.
Oh, okay.
So she's from the New World. No.
She pushes him down and mounts him. This is a very like intense sex scene that almost comes out of nowhere, but and then
it's the angry lust of peasants.
It's very graphic too. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, like they use appropriate shadows, I guess. So it's like they get their clothes off and have sex, and then like they just do all this, and then like at the end of it, they just kind of like lovingly like kind of kiss. Then we cut to William takes.
And mind you, no one's taken a bath in this movie yet, so.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was you had told me that or like somebody mentioned that like the genitalia in this area would like if you smelled it would like knock you out or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. I used to think people you get sick if you got wet.
Yeah,
and didn't have soap. Yeah.
William talks to Salvatore, who's like catching rats in the graveyard. We see the girl leave through the sluice gate, and then Adso finds like a heart and a cloth, and he gets freaked out by it and gets William. And then William basically susses out everything that happened that we did not see him witness, and like he just uses deduction. It's like, yeah, it's like I guess if you're a pretty young man, you'll get to have sex with a young lady. So compared to the rest of these guys.
Well, he knew that it's like he figured that like, oh, she's trading sex.
Yeah.
With Remigio for like basically organ meat or offal or whatever we call it now, and so he just put it all together. That's like, well, she traded sex with you for silence. He doesn't say that, but
yeah,
William's not a Puritan, or at least he doesn't judge people morally for what they do. It's like, well, that's you and God. I'm worried about logic.
When we show him, because like what we've actually see in this movie is maybe William got a glance at her and then looked away, but like again, like he probably has photographic memory because he knew who she was, because Adso like maybe like stared at her for like 5 seconds too long. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, William's gonna pick up on those subtle cues.
And I don't know, is she the only woman in this movie? Like,
yes.
Is there other women peasants when you have like the peasants?
Yeah, there's later on when Adso goes and searches the peasant village.
Okay.
You see very old peasant women.
Right. Okay.
And you realize how horrible their lives are. That village.
Yeah. So then we cut to Adso. It's night. It's like they're in their room. Adso confesses to William. And then he's like saying, "Are you?" And then William responds like, "Are you not confusing love with lust?" Because like Adso's trying to like, it's like, well, I want to help the peasants, and she's a peasant. I want her to be happy. Yeah, he says, I want her to be happy. I want to save her from poverty. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, William's like, "Do you?"
Okay. There's debate about scripture and like how it thinks of women, which seems to be like pretty negative. And but William's like, yeah, but it seems like why would God create something without having like good qualities as well? So, And then we cut to it's morning. They look for Brother Berenger. They see the closed door open, and then Brother Malachi intercepts them, keeps them from going to the door. It's like, hey, like is Berenger here? It's like, nope. It's like, can we go in that door? Like, nope. It's just like all no's. Which this is the other like assistant library monk to Jorge.
Yeah.
Then we cut to we see a group of Franciscan monks show up. They meet with William. William doesn't think the devil is at work, and then the group is like cautious of of this conclusion because they know it's not going to like jive with the Inquisition if they have to come here. Are they brought in at like a last moment, or are they always on their way?
What's that?
The Inquisition. Are they always on their way, or is that just like happen as more things like become unsolved?
I think as rumor and things begin to spread around, and I also think the papal legation probably arranged for Bernardo to show up.
Okay.
Yeah, it seemed to be it was something along those lines.
Okay.
It was like, oh, here's something you can bore into, and we can completely discredit this council we were made to have.
Oh, so that papal council at the end there, that's just happenstance. That they're there also with the Inquisition. That's not.
No, they were meant to come there for a meeting.
Okay, all right.
And it seems like Bernard Gouy was just like, oh yeah, why don't you, if you're in the area, why don't you come around too, because we think something's going on.
Okay.
So.
Then they're notified of another murder. There they find Brother Berenger naked and drowned in a bathtub, which William finds. And then William finds his magnifying glasses there, which they're kind of broken, but I'm guessing still useful. So,
yeah,
especially at that time. Like, I don't know how you're making glass at that time. It's got to be done.
It's very hard to make it clear at that time. I know that.
Okay.
I don't think they figured out how to. What do they do that with lead now or something? Well, now most lenses are made out of plastic, but
yeah. Well, I know like concave lenses are made by basically just like. It's just by like you basically put like the material basically on a spinning plate, and you just spin it at a certain rate, and it'll become the lens.
Okay.
As the product or whatever is more malleable, like the soft glass or plastic or whatever. That's why, at least for what's the opposite of concave?
Yeah, what is the opposite of concave? Convex?
Oh, it's convex lenses that are cheaper because that's how they're made. And convex lens, like telescopes, they're bigger but they're cheaper. Versus concave lens ones, that's more like the tube. Like the convex ones kind of have like you look in like a small area and there's like a big tube next to it because like it's got to be big, so it's just bigger but it is cheaper to make ultimately. So. Or who knows now? I don't know. I just remember that being when I was looking into it one time. I remember that being an interesting thing about it. It's like it's cheaper and it's bigger, so that's the problem. Like usually you want magnifying glasses as small as you can get them, or any kind of glasses. You want them as small as you can get them. So.
Yeah.
They find Berenger's shoes match the shoe prints in the snow. So they know he dragged the Greek translator to the blood. What was I calling that? The blood cauldron? Yeah, blood cauldron.
Blood cauldron, yeah.
They go back to like the basically autopsy room or the herbalist room or whatever, and they study the body and find ink on his hands and his tongue, which they're like weirded out by. Why is the ink always on the tongue? Is that explained?
Because you lick your.
Okay, right. Okay.
It's not like paper like we would think of it.
Okay.
I think those are like more like animal skins.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people got into the habit of just licking their finger, turning back and forth because it gave you a little bit of grip. People still do. I never got that. I just would fight with the page until it turned.
Okay. Yeah, I just do like this. I do this little number until they split apart eventually. So.
Yeah. Of course, I haven't actually read like a physical book in a long time. So mostly, I'm touching a screen that goes to the next page. After the EMP, I won't be able to do that. I'll be back to books.
And also they find out he was left-handed, which which I remember that used to be what that means sinister, and like that was always a bad thing here. But they call them like, what they call her, like odd-handed or something like that. And it's like, oh, there's tons of things odd about this man or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
And then they find the parchment passed around from Adelmo. That's the Illuminator. So that's the guy who made the secret writing or whatever. And also, there's other writing on. There's 3 different writings on it, and one of them died while writing it because it trails off down the paper.
The guy that they're always taking him to, that when they're doing science, is Severnius.
Okay.
He is like, I don't know what you'd call him.
He's called the herbalist. I know that.
Yeah. So it's like kind of like what's the other?
So he's kind of like he's kind of like their doctor, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like a pharmacist of that era, an apothecary guy.
William tells the abbot of all his findings, and we just get we just basically get we just show exactly what he's saying, what's happened, and we have to presume that's exactly what happened. So, what did happen? So Berenger had a thing for young boys, which that was one of that was Adelmo, which what he said, he traded like hugs or the carnal pleasure,
sinful caress.
Yes. What did he trade? Oh, for the books, like the have
access to the books. Yeah, the forbidden books.
Which then I guess that made Adelmo felt that to be unconscionable and decided to throw himself off the abbey.
Even though suicide in Catholicism and Christianity is the worst, the unforgivable sin, because you can't be forgiven because you killed yourself. You can't be given the rights, and destroying your life is like the worst sin. But.
And then the Greek translator, did he find the same book and was translating it, and that's why he got killed?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's stuff about some translations are heresy or whatever.
Yes.
I guess ultimately the book they're looking for is Aristotle's book, lost book. Because that's what he's translating, right? The Aristotle book. Okay.
Yeah. It's book on comedy.
Yes.
And Jorge in the novel, and also in the movie, I think, does explain in my view, this is why, and it's his reasons seem a little wrong, but if he really believes that, then he's absolutely doing the right thing. But we don't know why. It's everyone who's touched this thing, everyone who's come in contact with this has died. Now we're thinking it's by, it's there's a killer on the loose, and it's it's kind of cool what happens, but I won't give it away yet. But we're still basically looking for a killer.
Yeah.
Which there is one, but he's the guy you would how's he possible? How's he possibly doing this? And then it's deception.
Well, I thought it was immediately I thought well, obvious it's what's
Severnius?
No,
Severnius or whatever.
What's the Ubertino? What's it? I can't. Umbertino. The weird Franciscan monk they see just laying down.
Oh, Ubertino, yeah.
Because when he caresses Adso's head, I was that's gonna be weird. But he doesn't live here. He showed up and is also investigating, so he's not a part of the criminal.
Well, he's
activity.
there for the debate. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also the abbot also seemed guilty because obviously they're hiding things, so you don't know. But ultimately that's not what's going on. Yeah, the abbot has no idea what's going on. He's just kind of along for the ride. So.
Yeah, the abbot's more of a politician than
a
man of learning. He's the guy who keeps the institution funded.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily a subject matter expert, except he is in the world of politics. And he's monks throwing themselves off of buildings and ending up in cauldrons and dying in bathtubs, which you're only allowed one bath a decade. Those are strange doings, not good for business. This is also a legendary abbey at this time in this book. It's this is one of the best repositories of knowledge in all of Christendom. It's there's books here that came from the Middle East 500 years ago and stuff. And when you say books, these are things that people write out by hand. This is before the printing press, so books are like that represents about 1,200 man hours,
Yeah.
of a very rare skill, reading and writing, and translating it from ancient Aramaic to Greek to medieval Latin to English to Italian. It's like that requires an insane
Or I'm
level.
guessing if there's like multiple copies of it, somebody's got to be copying the book by hand.
Yeah, oh yeah. And each copy is unique because it's just made by a hand.
Yeah.
It's not like pounded out by a machine.
Yeah, and that's where you get things where like, things are written in the margins, and like,
Yep.
especially with translations, like we translate the Bible and like things written in the margins get turned into scripture, and then like, well, doesn't that make things weird? It's like, yes, it does.
Yep.
So.
You ever read the Bible?
Yeah. Well, then you gotta.
The apocryphal books of the Bible, it's even weirder. It's like, oh, they didn't include these. Why? They make as much sense as anything else I've read. But yeah.
And then like you like kind of see like, oh yeah, that is a complication to things, and then Islam makes more sense then, because like, oh yeah, it's only in one language, we never change it because we don't want the message to ever change. Now,
nope.
The interpretation can always change, but how it's written out is always the same. So
I had somebody explain that once in a religions class I took. It's like Christianity is a tome of people. It's a mosaic of different ideas and different cultures across thousands of years, written by philosophers and craftsmen and people like that. Islam was created by a businessman, and it had a very straightforward set of rules. And it said it was basically always be spreading, always be growing. That was the mandate of Islam. It's like they never got to like, hey, what is the philosophical meaning of this? It's like, no, that'll get you killed. Don't do that. Just keep spreading the message. It also came a lot later too. It was like, oh, this is much more efficient than let's dig scrolls out of a mountain and then try to decide what we're gonna do.
I mean, Islam did have like great libraries, because like, wasn't there like some library where they housed, but even stuff they didn't believe in at the time or whatever? But it's like some of like modern math survived merely because the Islam didn't let the Christians burn a library down.
Oh yeah. Oh, at the time of the what was it? At the time of like the Crusades, they were way ahead of us in science.
Yeah.
And math and a lot of things, because they kind of had they didn't have a what do you call that? They had a manifold like destiny. They didn't have a lot of divisions yet in their belief structure, and there wasn't a lot of like co-philosophy because there were just a lot of problems to solve.
Yeah.
And it's like this is the way we're going.
The abbot gets a message of the papal delegation arriving, and so the abbot burns the note, which is basically the evidence to everything. So,
yeah.
And then he just says, your services are no longer needed. And then he also says William will know the person coming, which is Bernardo Gui, which is like we'll find out. Gui coming means they need to like hide Umberto and potentially William away from Gui for safety, because like, oh, they'll just kill him if they see him here, which is weird. So so yeah, presumably William was nearly put to death for his like adherence to logic and reason, in defiance. Well, not direct defiance, it's just like opinionated defiance against Gui. Like, I don't think this is Satan, and Gui's like, I think it is, and I think you should be put to death for thinking that. So,
by the way, real guy, and was the head of the 14th century Inquisition.
Huh. Okay.
A lot of his life was concerned. A lot of what he did for the Inquisition, though, that he was known for, was trying to convert Jews to Christianity.
Huh.
That was like his big thing, because it's kind of interesting. It's like one of these real historical characters inserted into this, kind of largely fictional work. But it's like, yeah, he was a real guy and he worked for the Inquisition. But there's if you read about it, he might not have been a raving lunatic either.
Okay.
He was just kind of like a guy like, I think I should save souls through like forced conversion to our beliefs, which that doesn't cast you in a good light now. I don't know. The world was very different then.
So it's like, it's right on point with like with the F. Murray Abrams Amadeus character, who wasn't like a murdering
Yeah,
psychopath
yeah.
and wasn't a talentless hack. He was just as popular, just different from Mozart. So.
Yeah. He played Salieri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the main baddie in Amadeus, just like he was the main baddie in this for 15 minutes.
Yeah. Adso goes looking for the girl, but then like he runs off when he sees her in Squalor, where they're like just there's living in a chicken shack or something like that, just hanging out, and then a chicken shits on somebody, and then like everybody laughs at them or whatever.
Yeah, the person gets the chicken shits on him, and then somebody slaps that person, and everyone laughs like they're living literally in shit.
Yeah,
and that's too much. Williams or Adso's like, no, I can't deal with this. It's too depressing and sad.
And then a guy pops out and like throws a rock at him, but they just like cut away from that moment.
Yeah, it's very strange.
And yeah, but he has like a voiceover about talking about lifting her people up, which just doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. He just runs away from it. We cut to they send Umbertino away in a barrel, which is kind of funny. Because he's literally he's like hanging out of this barrel like with the lid behind him, like yelling things, and then he just like puts it on top of himself and sits in the barrel. So, then we cut to it's at night. William and Adso go looking in the crypt for something. They find like a hidden switch that leads to a secret passage. Then they go through a secret crypt, and there's like skulls all over the place. Or maybe it's not a secret. Maybe I don't know, but I guess
what do they call those? There is a name for that. It's called not Pit and the Pendulum. This is like what they did with the.
Is that in like France under that tower, or just a bunch of skulls over the place?
No, well, that's part of this. That's what the lower level is. The
okay.
Abattoir or something.
Okay.
But no, these are. It's a kind of a maze. What do they call? Because it's what the Minotaur. When you would have to go through this.
Oh, labyrinth.
Yeah, it's a labyrinth. That's it.
Okay.
That's what this is. Because in the book, Adso talks about how it's like, oh, this made much more sense to me later in life when I learned about magic and mirrors and stuff, because there's a lot of that present in that in the hidden library.
Okay.
It's like because there's reflective surfaces, mirrors. It's like the stairs are built in a weird way where it doesn't seem like you can find your way around very well.
Yeah.
Kind of like going through Moria. That's what this reminded me of. It's like death awaits around every corner, unless you're smart.
William follows a rat, thinking it'll lead it to the library, because he says like rats like parchment as much as people do, or something like that. So he counts his steps too, and then he eventually just finds his way into the library, which is like he's like on a ladder, and he has to go through a hatch to come up through a floor. William is excited by all the books he's looking at and declares that one of the greatest libraries in all of Christendom. So,
yeah.
William also declares no one should be forbidden from reading these books. Adso loses William,
which is an old argument that's still going on to this day.
Adso loses William, but he can still hear him, which is like, I always have this kind of like, every time you like stick with Adso and he's by himself, it just like starts to become a horror movie. So, but I guess that's keeping with his character, because he's just like, he's young and doesn't know things, so everything is like terrifying to him. So
yeah, oh yeah,
the unknown is terrifying. You know, there's no internet, you don't know what the hell's going on. So, William instructs him to like read aloud, and then like he like, I can't remember if he tells him to do this or did Adso come up with this, where he like leaves a bit of string to like cover.
Adso came up with this. Yeah.
Okay.
He basically started to unravel one of his undergarments that was like rough knitted together.
Oh, okay.
So as he walked, it would uncoil.
Yeah.
And it would give him a string to find his way back to at least where he was.
Yes. Okay.
So we'd know if he's walking in circles.
Yeah, and this is where we get like the how you solve a labyrinth is like, every time you come to a fork, you just keep turning left.
Yeah.
Or keep turning right. Just whatever you do, just keep turning the same direction. So, And then they find each other, which is it's kind of funny because he's like, I see a lantern. He's like, stand still. It's like, should I? He's like whispering, and then like he's like, is the lantern like waving? He's like, yes. It's like, how many times? Like 3. It's like, yeah, it's just me, dude. Because there's like this fear of like, oh, what if they get caught? But it's like, yeah, I guess death. I don't know, but they don't know. But that's still like a good.
Yeah, so they don't know who's killing people.
Yeah, yeah.
So they think like, oh, there could be someone waiting here with an axe. You know, we
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, yeah, and they're not supposed to be in here. So, and we know from this time, like if you're not doing what the church says, they can just kill you for no reason.
Yeah,
So.
seems like there's a lot of dying going on.
Adzo gets freaked out by a mirror, and then William stands in front of it. He's like, oh, it's just a mirror. And he falls through a trap door,
Yeah.
which we see there's like skeletons down there. So apparently it's just like people died down there and nobody knows about it. So, but William's able to like grab a table and like kind of like keep from falling into the pit. And the table's like sunk into the trap door, but like it can't fit through. So that's why he's hanging on. They also drop a lantern down there, which I thought that was going to catch everything on fire, but it's apparently fine. So. Adzo helps William up. They stand in front of the mirror. There's a let's see here. Yeah, so they're working on a puzzle to the door, and then Gui shows up in the meantime outside. William and Adzo make their way out because also like Adzo's freezing because I guess I figured out he has unraveling undergarments. So
Yeah.
Because William's like, "What's that sound?" And he's like, "It's my teeth. They're chattering." It's like he's like, "Don't be scared." It's like, "No, it's cold." But yeah, they go out there and they see Gui's men just unloading torturing devices, which is just like all sorts of like locks and spikes and all sorts of things.
Iron Maidens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we see Salvatore and the girl like trading stuff. It's weird. I'm not sure if Salvatore like wants sex. But he gets her to like spit on him, and then he uses that to rub on an egg or something. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, he's doing something with with like a chicken.
Yeah.
And a black cat. And eggs that are in mud or poop. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything looks very gross.
Yes.
Something gross is going on here.
And then a lamp gets knocked over and starts a fire. They put it out. Like everyone rushes immediately, puts it out. Then they capture the girl and like rip her clothes off for no good reason. But then there's like, what they call it? A black cock and a black cat.
Cockerel.
Like, cockerel. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like the devil.
Yes, a black cock is the devil.
Gui confronts William. William doesn't fight back much against him because he knows like the follies of like confronting Gui like directly, so he has to do it like indirectly and kind of like use logic against him, presumably. So that being the end of Act 2. We got Act 3. Adzo questions Williams about like what happened back there, like why didn't he like say that they're innocent, and then William talks about being an inquisitor himself, and like Gui wanted to accuse a guy of heresy, and William declared him not guilty, and then Gui accused William of heresy because of that, and then like he was put in prison and tortured. Let me cut to Gui, played by F. Murray Abrams. He like readies a fire poker, and Salvatore doesn't know who like committed the murders, and so he says so. Then we cut to outside. I think we have a cut to like it's dawn, and I wasn't sure if it was like him screaming or if it's just like animal noises outside. But the papal committee shows up, and this is where we get like the line like Christ was poor, but should the church be poor? We see an autopsy. Oh, I wrote the autopsy guy because I can't remember. You said his name, but now I'm going to immediately forget. The herbalist. He sneaks around to find a book, but then someone grabs like a metal thing and just kills the guy with it and takes the book. Then we see Matthias tells... oh, shit. This is the other monk that was in the order that hated rich people.
Remigio.
Remigio, that like Salvatore sold him out about like trading favors with the girl. And so like he starts to go run off. And then we see blood on Malachi's shoes, so we know he probably killed the herbalist. Um, and then Remigio is being chased. I mean, and then they catch him because he's trying to get out through the sleuth gate, and then they just charge him with murder because he was running away. He's running away from the sex accusations, but they're like, well, while you're at it, we can blame you for a murder as well. So, then we cut to William is researching books to try to keep the girl from being executed as a witch. I think that's what he's doing, or at least that's how Adso frames it. It's like we know she's not a witch, so let's not like have her burned at the stake. And then we cut to like Gui is appointing the judges, and so he appoints. So it's him, and then he appoints the abbot as a judge and William, like which presumably this is just a trap for William because it seems like Gui just wants him dead because
yeah,
you know, he thinks against him or whatever. Yeah, and again, like at this time, if these people truly believe all this garbage, you know, I guess that's what you do or whatever. Salvatore and the girl are brought to the court. I think like Salvatore's hands are broken because they look like they're on backwards and they're just like flopping around.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was done to him. Because usually, like, because there's a famous line that Guy uses. It's like, will he not confess? Then show him the instruments. And because I mean that was when they got that red hot poker and they were holding it up to Salvatore and stuff. It's like, yeah, you know, they obviously didn't burn his eyes out. He just confessed. But yeah, they might have done some other stuff to him, or he was just deformed that way. We don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure he had working hands at the start of the movie, and they're like, I think they're pretty much on backwards in this scene.
That could be.
Because, like, Remigio's like, when they asked Remigio to, like, hey, we'll get the truth out of you, we'll just go to the torture room, and he's like, I'll confess to everything. I don't want to be tortured. So. But here we have Remigio confesses to be a monk of the order that wanted to, like, keep the church poor.
Yeah.
Adso prays to God in another room to save the girl. William says Remigio did not commit the murders, which is like everyone's like shocked by this. It's like, Gio threatens torture, and Remigio then just like confesses to the murders, and then Williams is like arrested. And I wrote taken away to trial with the Pope, but then he's not arrested. He's like still like at the church or whatever.
Well, no, he's Bernardo wants him held so he may take him to Rome and have his verdict confirmed in consultation with the Pope in front of William.
Right. Okay.
So it's like he's basically going to take control of him, and he will die at some point. Yeah. We were attacked by bandits on the road, or you know, whatever nonsense they're going to make up.
But we get a voiceover that says like William's fate now rests on Anso finding the book that will prove William's theories.
Yeah.
There's a mass, and here we see Malachi dies. Well, he's dying. We see like the black mark on his finger and like the black mark on his lips, and so he's like being poisoned. He's also mentioned about like I guess in the about the apocalypse is the 1,000 scorpions or whatever. So he's like saying like 1,000 scorpions as he dies or whatever. So, William and also like I think that line completes the apocalypse like theory. So like, you know, that's just like a growing concern to the monks here, even though like to us the audience it's not like we know that's not going on, but to the monks that's important. So William and Adso just run to open up the library now that like all the librarians are dead except for Jorge. So but now because they're missing, Gui thinks William is the murderer. We see Adso and William figure out the mirror puzzle, and they move inside another hidden door, and Jorge's just there waiting. Jorge hands over the Aristotle book that was thought to be lost, but this is where we find out the book has been poisoned, and so I guess William has a glove to like read through it. And then, and then when he says that out loud, because Jorge's blind, he wouldn't necessarily know that he has a glove on. But when he says that, then he kind of like freaks out. Elsewhere, we see the prisoners are brought to the stake to be burned. They're like greased up with some sort of accelerant. So, we cut back.
Used back then, like pine pitch or something.
Yeah, probably. Like yeah. Jorge thinks laughter eliminates fear, and fear is needed to worship God. So that's his whole like ideology here. So that's why they.
Well, it's like if men learned to laugh, they would laugh at God.
Yeah.
Or they would laugh at the devil and think they didn't need God. It's like it sort of makes sense, your belief system, but it's like, oh, but you're gonna poison a book and murder people, and
Yeah,
like, that's clearly not what God wants.
yeah. I didn't murder the person, the book did. um I mean, yeah, Jorge runs away with the book, and he's like starting to eating the pages of the poisoned book. So it's like, well, he's gonna die. And then a fire gets started in the library. William and Adso try to put it. I think they put out. Do they not get this fire put out? Is there like multiple fires, or is this fire just get away from?
Multiple fires going on.
Okay, because it seems like they put out the one, but then there's still a fire going on. But I don't know if I'm guessing Jorge just started another fire or whatever.
Yeah, it's because there was a lamp that got thrown in oil, and it might have leaked through the floor, and
Right.
It just seems to suddenly we're in a room of fire.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like fire is the constant of this universe.
Jorge goes to burn the Aristotle book, and then he just like catches himself on fire, and then like runs off down some stairs. This guy's very spry for a blind old man.
And that is a nightmare. Can you imagine being blind and on fire? Just think about that for a second. Like, uh-oh.
And all those stairs.
1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm on fire. Ah! It's like, no.
We cut outside. The executioners are stoking the flames at the stake. The peasants have shown up for the burning. The clergy sees the library on fire, and so they run to it. So now the only people left there is like Gui and his men, which is like not a whole lot. It's like 6 guys or something like that. So even though they're like have all this power and like tools and weapons at hand, it's like they're fearful against these 30 peasants. So who have rocks.
I mean, they have like swords and armor, but yeah, these peasants will kill you because they show the peasants actually picking up stones.
Yeah.
Big ones. It's like, oh yeah, we're screwed. These guys start throwing these heavy rocks at us.
Salvatore and Remigio are burned at the stake. They're just dead.
Yeah.
And the peasants scare away Gui and his men, and they keep the girl from being burned. Adso and William get split up.
You're not actually sure at first, though, because when the camera moves out as Bernardo and his men are running away, you see, the other 2 are fully engulfed.
Yeah.
And then, like, there's still a fire going under her.
Yeah.
But she hasn't reached engulfment yet. And then they just kind of cut away. It's like, so you don't know.
Okay.
It's like, well, did she burn eventually?
Adso and William get split up in the fire in the library. William's trying to figure out if he can save. Well, he tells him. William says like, "Hey, get out of here! I'll find another way out." And then William's like stuck in a room, seemingly engulfed in flames, and then like is like trying to figure out if he can save any of the books. So he's just kind of like trying to make like a choices, like which book should I get out of here? We cut to Adso makes it outside. He confronts Gui, who's just running away from the people. It's like, hey, William was right, and then he just like runs away from him. And then Adso tries to like knock the gate down to stop him from leaving, but then they get through the gate. And then the carriage gets like, I forget what happens. The carriage gets flipped, and then the peasants take the effort to I forget. There's a whole scene in the middle here, like when the papal delegation shows up, and they're like making all these people push this carriage up this hill. Like it's very like and like they're not getting out of the carriage to make it lighter and any of that stuff. They're just forcing these people to push this thing up a hill.
It's deep mud and other things in the 14th century version of a switchback. So it's like there's steep fall off either side.
Yeah.
And they're making these peasants like push and try not to get crushed under these wheels, because there's also horses pulling this thing.
Yeah.
And these peasants could fall off the side, get crushed by the wheel, under the wheel by the horses pulling it. And the papal delegation is indifferent to they're looking like this, very haughty, like, of course, push, peasant, have else to do. So then this wagon in frightened flight, it kind of gets stuck in the same way and goes on its side. And then the peasants just push it off the side of the cliff.
Which Gui gets impaled on one of his torture devices. So, I'm not sure if that's what happened to the real Gui or not. I doubt
No, he died in his home.
Okay.
Yeah, that's never how. The only guys that really died bad were most of the Nazis. Like, the people we hung and stuff. It's like that. Yeah, all throughout history, the people they say that died badly that were bad guys. They died at home, surrounded by their families for the most part. They died in a bed because they were rich and evil, and that's usually how the world works. But yeah, in fiction, it's like, oh, he was torn apart by butterflies. That didn't happen, but it's very artful.
Karma came for him in the form of God. It's people.
Also, before we there was a scene with William and Adso in the library where what does William say to him? Because Adso's desperately trying to save him, and he's like, "I insist, go." And Adso really doesn't want to leave him.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, that's why he became so emotional when he saw Gui and tried to spring the gate so they couldn't leave. It's like, no, you framed him. You got to answer. Figured it out what was really going on. Because that's the first time Adso takes any agency at all.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to stop.
Well, it's also like nobody like really fights against Gui, like not even William, because he knows the history. And then here's Adso, who's like just this person who knows nothing and it's like not really stood up for himself or anything like that. It's like chasing this guy down. It's like, hey, what are you doing? You're staying here and answering this question. William emerges from the library, pained but still alive, and he's got some of the books. He's just like dropping books out of his robe all over the place.
And he's surrounded by rats.
Yeah.
So it was the trick of the rats again. It's like, yeah, the rats are going to flee the fire also. So it's like, the rats saved William twice.
We cut to it's morning. William and Adso get on their donkeys and leave. They walk past the girl on their way. So, like, you know, they know that she's alive. It's like, okay, at least one good thing happened. Adso like touches her face, or she grabs his hand to touch his face, and then she kisses his hand, and then he just leaves. There's some like hesitation here. We get a voiceover saying that he didn't regret the decision, and it mentions the last time he saw William, but he never knew like what. He handed, because William gave him the glasses, saying like you'll need these one day. And like he says, like in the voiceover, like he's writing this letter now with the glasses that William gave him. And he says like, but yeah, after that happened, after he gave him the glasses, he never saw him again, and he never knew what became of him. Which in this area, if you go your different ways, you might never see anybody ever again. There's no way to stay in contact. So,
and he never knew the girl's name.
Yeah, he mentions at the end of his life, the face he can see most clearly is the girl, but he never knew her name. Which I'm guessing, is that the name of the book then? Is her name Rose? Yes. Okay.
No, it's just she was beautiful like a rose, and I never knew her name.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, that's The Name of the Rose.
Yeah, it's a very underrated movie in my opinion.
Oh yeah, this is fascinating.
I love this movie. I love the book. Even the book and the movie complement each other, because the book gives you the visual, or the movie gives you the visualization, and the book, though different from the movie in a lot of ways, is like, oh, if you like the movie, you're gonna love the book.
Yeah,
and it's gonna transport you to a time and a place that is not fiction but seems like it. It's like it's a real place. The conflicts and the ideas discussed are real. It's just most of the characters are fictional. But it's a real time and place, and it's very interesting.
I'm not
living like this. You know?
And I also didn't know how to take this because I'd never seen Murder on the Orient Express, where Connery played Hercule Poirot, which is also a character who is an investigator. So I don't know if that has any carryover to this movie, where it's like, oh, cool, he's doing an investigative thing again.
Yeah, all these kind of investigators trace back to Edgar Allan Poe.
Right, yeah.
Because my favorite Edgar Allan Poe stories are with the investigator, was it C. Augustine Dupin? Because he did the Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Mystery of Mary Roget, and the Purloined Letter. And it's a guy who just, tell me what happened. And he just sits down and he's like, through reasoning and just eliminating what's possible or what's impossible. It's like, oh, this is what actually happened. And one of my favorite stories like that is the Purloined Letter by Edgar Allan Poe, because it's like supposedly some letter that could like start a war that was stolen. and we know who stole it, and we can't figure out where he hid it. You know, we took up his floorboards, we went through all his furniture, we went to all his friends' house, and the detective was like, "Oh, look where he keeps his mail. That's where he put it, because no one would put it there." That's exactly where it was. It was like, so this was the this character created basically Sherlock Holmes. William of Baskerville came from Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, and in some ways, Doctor Who is like, oh, just a man of pure logic and science, and I'm here to save the day. It's like, yeah, that's who all these guys are. And you know, and we like these guys, especially, you know, and this is a lot like, oh, this guy's very fallible. He almost gets killed a couple times. He was imprisoned and tortured. He has a superior intellect, but his mouth gets him in trouble because of it. And he's not like a perfect guy.
Yeah,
but he's you really like him. And like I said, it's Sherlock Holmes or Sherlock Holmes. Sean Connery disappeared into the role so much I almost forgot. Like, oh yeah, Sean Connery's in this. It's what I don't know if that's the way it was shot or just how he was acting.
Yeah, well, yeah. What was the thing that one guy called of the character? Like he had the pride of intellect. It's like which that seems like super weird to be like a. Oh, that's a bad quality to be intellectual. So.
Oh no, unlimited curiosity at this time was a death sentence.
Yeah,
because if you had like a genius level IQ, you were going to run afoul of the church. You were going to run afoul of a king, or mainly the church, because the kings and the government at this time, they didn't care how well you could read and write. They were results driven, and they wanted to fight wars and gain territory. But the church, they controlled knowledge. And if you were a rebellious intellect, or you thought it's like, well, the truth of my intellect is more important, it's like, yeah, you're going to end up being burned alive. And that was just the reality of that time.
It's on Tubi, so you can catch it for free.
Yeah, it's
another good Tubi get. So.
Yep. I like Tubi saves.
Well, we're seeing a probe into space containing the supercut of scenes for the imperfect collection of the movies that make up the Verhoeven Effect. Nathan, what one scene for this movie are we shoving into space?
Well, we have to do one of the two scenes in the library. Probably the first one, the discovery of the library.
Okay.
Because that's what this movie is about, unraveling a mystery, and then you think you have it, and then it's like, oh, it's going to get 10 times worse. Just wait. It's like, oh, well, he figured it out. He solved it. There's a secret library. There's all these forbidden books in it. The killer's going to show up. It's going to get wrapped up. It's like, no, that doesn't happen. There's going to be another scene in the library. It's even more horrifying, but the killer will be revealed. So, but yeah, I love the two labyrinth library scenes in this are really cool. Because they reused it twice and to good effect.
Yeah.
It's like the second time is like, oh, this is the solution. This is how the killing's happening. This is who's doing it, and this is why.
And they probably just built one room, but they're able to look like, oh, there's like 400 of these rooms, and it's easy to get lost. So it was probably good set design, economical set design.
Yeah, like in the intro in the book, like when Adso's an old man, he's like, I didn't understand till later in life when I read other books about like magicians and what do they call it, people that cheated in chess by using mirrors to, like, somebody who was obviously poor at chess would challenge like a master of chess, and the guy, of course, it's like, yeah, I'll pick up those dice and throw them. There's no chance you can win. But they had mirrors placed around, and they had another master in another room, and the poor player could watch the mirror that reflected the board that he was using and tell him what moves to make. And it's like, oh, I learned about this type of deception, and now I understood the riddle of the labyrinth that I didn't when I was a boy. There's all kinds of little details in the book peppered in that aren't in the movie, which is why I think this is one of those rare things where if you like the movie, read the book, because it's like, oh, this all does really come together very nicely. And if you want to know like the reality of the politics of that time and what these guys were all upset about in the movie, it explains it. In English, Italian, and Latin, but it does explain it. It actually doesn't just launch into Latin with no explanation. It's like they'll say a long passages in Latin, and then William will be like, now Adso, this means that. And it actually accompanies a lot of like, oh, this is why these people act this way. Okay. Because like I said, the Umberto Eco was a guy who basically was a professor of semiotics, which is symbolism, which is how you teach people through symbols.
Huh.
Because the last time I heard of semiotics was, remember that thing I was fascinated with when they were coming up with, like, how do we warn people about nuclear radiation and waste?
Oh, right, yeah.
Time when English or any spoken language we have now won't exist. And that's when they came up with the field of spikes and the man walking through it and all this stuff. That's semiotics. And so this guy apparently was a professor of it, who was also a lover of history and detail.
Huh.
So, yeah, that's where this book and movie came from. It's a good... Once you're done with your teenage years fantasy, swords and sorcery, it's like, advance into this. Because it's the next step.
You can find us at Letterboxd, username VHE. 1 out of 5 stars. What are we giving The Name of the Rose?
Oh, 5 stars for sure.
Okay.
And like I said, my original viewing of this was like a censored TV version, and I loved it.
Yeah.
The version I watched this time was like, oh, I didn't know that sex scene was that intense. It wasn't when I watched it. When I watched it, she like puts her hand over his mouth, and then we cut to the next scene, getting up and putting his robe on, and William's like, You know, that's what I remembered of the movie, and then I saw that, and I was like, oh, wow, okay. I was watching the edited version.
You can find us at verhoeveneffect.com. You can rate our podcast on whatever platform of your choice you're listening on. You can rate us whatever you want. The only thing I'll listen to is the highest rating. So remember, give us the highest rating, and let's control the algorithm or the AI overlords or whatever happening. So the AI bubble.
Which is like 3 extension cords plugged into each other in a circle with running into it. But somehow billions of dollars are yet spent.
You can find us.
Yeah, don't pay for that computer generated no talent slop. For our human generated no talent slop. That's what you really want.
I was made with humanity and I don't know, disrepair. I don't know.
Wrought by imperfect hands. With no, what would you say? No ulterior motive. A love of movies.
Yeah, watch this movie we just told you about.
Yeah. See what you get out of it.
Which really, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like old people stuff now where it's like, you know, like, I don't have time to be like, when I'm talking with people, like, I can't be like coy about a movie. Like, oh, just watch this movie. Like, there's some like stuff that'll surprise you in it, because then you won't watch the movie. But then you just tell them the surprise, like, oh, I should watch that movie. Yeah. So you can find us at Twitter at Verhoeven Effect. You can find us at Blue Sky Social at Verhoeven Effect. You can find us at Facebook at Verhoeven Effect. And you can find us on YouTube at American Greed Factory and watch both this and that show live and unedited. So for the Verhoeven Effect podcast, I'm Conlon.
And I'm Nathan.
Goodbye, America.